my sewing blog, Sewing by Ti, my fabric shop, Simply by Ti, or maybe you just like sewing and you found my video. No matter how you found me, welcome. We are going to have an amazing time today. So I'm going to let you know in advance that normally I try to make these videos 15 minutes. That's not happening today. I have this giant stack of projects I kind of want to talk to you about. I've got a sneak peek of the Rad Patterns Oraro bralette that will be releasing hopefully on Monday. And then I'm got kind of a quick run through of all the bralette patterns that I own, which let me tell you is a lot. So as you're popping on, make sure you say hello. I want to make sure that people can hear me and that they kind of know what's going on. I'm going to start with just a rundown. Welcome, Melissa. No problem. Welcome, Robin. Thank you for joining me today. So I've got a lot of bralettes to get through and a lot of techniques to get you through. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I know a lot of people aren't 100% confident with making bralettes. And I think that's kind of a shame because that's just... It's not any harder than a t-shirt. Thank you, Robin. I have started the curly girl hair method, and who knew my hair was so curly? So it's pretty awesome. Welcome, Sharon and Rhonda and Lysel. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with this stack that I have. Let me just tip the camera down here for you. So this is everything I'm going to try to get through today. I am not going to do full pattern reviews. I'm just going to go through what I have, talk about what I like, what I don't like, and just kind of get through the stack so that we can get to the part where I show you techniques and some hacking options. So I know that when people are thinking about trying something new, it's always helpful if you can get a free pattern. So this is George and Ginger. They have, it's called, oh my goodness. Oh my, well, my brain cannot remember what the George and Ginger free pattern is, but this is a free bralette pattern, and it uses no special hardware. I do recommend using elastic in the straps and the underbust if you have a larger bust, and it uses actually darts in the design. So I've got 2 darts here and a dart down here. Yes, it's the George and Ginger Love 6. Thank you, Sharon. So this is not my favorite bralette. It took me a while to get the fit right, but it's free. So if you want to try something, you only have cotton lycra, you don't want to have a bunch of findings, then this is going to get you there. Up next, and I've got my little pattern here so I can show you, is the Oh Lulu Hyacinth. It is also a free pattern. And I kind of want to show this to you because I think you're going to find it a little bit comical. So when I made my hyacinth and I followed the pattern size, this is what I got. Now, the pattern overall is cute and functional, but it doesn't offer very much coverage, kind of anywhere at all. So the original pattern piece, get that focus there for you, is this black line here. And this is how much I had to add to the front to get to here. So if you are a B or a C sewing cup, this is going to work well for you. If you need to do a lot of adjustments as far as fit, this isn't your best bet, but it is free. And it's a great place to start for hacking because for just $6, they have an add-on pack to make some really fancy backs to go with this pattern. So it's a great place to start if you want a free pattern, you want to try working with fold-over elastic, and I'm going to talk about fold-over elastic a little bit later, and you just want to learn the techniques. So this is fine, but if you're not a B or C sewing cup and you're not really confident with making adjustments, then you're not going to want to start here. And just for reference, because I did make a hyacinth that fits me. So the yellow is the pattern as drafted. This purple one is where I ended up. So as you can see, there was a lot of fabric that I had to add to cover all of me, even though I went by their size chart. So if you're a larger cup size, that's not your best bet. All right, so for anyone who struggles with cup sizing, I love, love, love rad patterns. Welcome, Gabs. Thanks for joining me. So rad patterns, Stephanie actually drafts for Adidas, which means that hopefully she knows what she's doing. And I love that she includes a small cup size, a regular cup size, and large cup sizing in her patterns. Now, if you're looking to make a bralette, you don't want findings, the Rad Patterns Lucky Lingerie is a great, great pattern. It has this fun little twist in it. Like I said, it includes cup sizing, which means that I didn't have to make any adjustments. And I found that her sizing was spot on. Now, in her patterns, I previously would make a small back and under bust, and then do a medium large cup size. Now that I'm even bigger, I make a medium back, medium under bust, and the larger cup size, and that fits me perfectly, which is why I was really excited to try their new pattern that hasn't released yet. So I am a tester for the new Oraro. It is this super cute bralette. This is actually my tester, so it's still got some adjustments. She did add height to the center front, so if you need more bust coverage. It has these super pretty princess seams, which allows that cup sizing to be even more effective. Excuse me, talking so much that things are going a little crazy. And that is where we start dealing with all the little notions and findings that you're going to put into a bralette, including a ring, sliders, strapping. And even though I used a cotton lycra band on the bottom for my tester, she actually uses a bra strapping. Welcome, Diana. Let me go ahead and read. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry that they're interfering with Sewing Thursday, Diana, but trust me, you can always catch me later, and you're probably going to want to, because I'm going to cover some techniques and some hacking later on that's really going to be helpful. So this pattern absolutely is getting 2 thumbs up for me, not because I'm a tester, but because this was the version 1 draft, and it fit me. Like, who drafts a pattern and it fits right the first time? And that's why I love working with Stephanie, is that number 1, she really knows what she's doing, but number 2, sometimes she just knocks it right out of the park. So I will come back to this so we can talk about the findings that you need for that, but that's a super great pattern, and I can't wait for it to release on Monday. Okay, so let's say that you're feeling kind of crazy and you think you're ready for a challenge. I don't know if I've shown this to you guys before. I think I have, but this is the Made for Mermaids bralette. This pattern has a lot of pieces. There's a lot of fitting to do. There's like a crap ton of elastic. Like, this is not the kind of project that you're going to knock out in an hour. Okay, so if you're ready to go further than something simple, I do like the Made for Mermaids bralette, but it's not a quick sew. What is a quick sew, however, is the Jo Cole Shoreline. So I've actually cranked out 4 of these bralettes in probably the last 5 hours or so. So seriously, it is super, super fast. I do hack the pattern quite a bit because I like to be able to put sliders on here, and I also need nursing clips for after my baby is born. So this is the most basic version. Let me pattern pieces. So the Jo Cole pattern, as drafted, is the same front and back. That works great if you are a B or C sewing cup. Center front is right here. You've got your armhole, your neckline, and all the measurements are included in the pattern. This is not intended to be a super supportive bra. So if you want a little more support, there's two things you should do. Number one, size down, one size. I like it at the drafted size. I already know that when my milk comes in, nothing's going to fit, so I'm hoping that this is going to have enough stretch. But if you want more support, go down a size and then think about lining. Now, if you are a cup size larger than a B or C sewing cup, this is not going to work for you. And I want to show you my highly adjusted piece for myself. So if you look, the orange will be my back part, and all of this out here, that's the rest of me. So if you've never done a full bust adjustment, I really recommend you stick with Brad Patterns because she has the cup sizes included. But if you're ready for a challenge, you know, one pattern piece if you're a B and C sewing cup, and two if you're not. So that makes this pretty simple. And all of the ones that I've got to show you here are just based on these two pieces. So number one is this little bralette that I made. This uses SimplybyTi Dry Tex, and I do most of my edging with fold over elastic. So I want to talk about fold over elastic first because there's some really cool things that you need to know, and a lot of people get frustrated. I want to welcome everybody who said hello so far. I'm trying to make sure that we don't go over 40 minutes today. So I'm not trying to be rude. I just want to make sure that we have time for everything. So fold over elastic. Here we go. There are lots of kinds of fold over elastic. Most patterns call for lingerie elastic. And my personal experience with this stuff is I hate it. It is not firm. It is too stretchy. It's a pain in the butt. It doesn't like to stay where you pin it into. And it's just not super awesome. Okay? I hate this stuff. And I've tried several different brands. I mean, just because it says lingerie elastic doesn't mean they're all the same. But I hate this. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. What I don't hate is diapering fold over elastic. So this is 1 inch plush elastic. And it is way firmer. What did I do with this little piece? So this is what this does. It doesn't have much strength to it. This is really firm. It bounces back really well. And when you pin it in place, it doesn't like to slide all over the place. Now, maybe I'm biased because when I started sewing, one of the first things that I learned to sew was cloth diapers. And I've used this so much. But this is my favorite. If you have to use a fold over elastic, if you're new and you're worried about getting frustrated, diaper fold over elastic. Now, you can find this stuff at Joann's, usually in the Babyville section where they keep all the cloth diapering supplies. And sometimes you can find pretty ones, let's get that focused, like this that have hearts on it and stars and all kinds of colors. I will say that if you're going to buy diaper fold over elastic, I really like diapersewing-supplies.com. They've got some of the best pricing, and you're going to have a huge selection of colors. So if you're looking for fold over elastic, you want the 1 inch plush, not the lingerie elastic, because this is going to be a lot firmer. It's going to be a lot less frustrating, and you're not going to have to make any adjustments when you use it. So that's my little tip about fold over elastic. I mean, I'm sure there's people that like this stuff, but I'm not one of them. It's too frustrating, and I like my project to go, smoothly. Now, the cool thing about the Jo Cole pattern is that all the bindings are actually drafted to be the same length as the actual openings. So you don't have to measure. But I do recommend that you leave an overhang on each side so that as you're sewing, you have a place to hold on to it. Gabs is asking if I'm planning on including fold over elastic in my shop? And honestly, the answer is no. The sheer number of like colors I would have to carry to feel really confident in what we have, it's just more than I'm willing to do. So I just really, and also I have like this huge stash of fold over elastic from my diaper making days that I'm still trying to make my way through. So no, I'm not planning on carrying fold over elastic, but I'm going to show you some other options, of course, of what to do instead. So definitely make sure that when you're sewing your fold over elastic on your pieces, when I start, I leave an overhang. I go all the way across and leave an overhang. Once I've got it stitched down, then I trim off the two ends and then go to the next section. In order to put in your straps, instead of, because this pattern is actually designed that you just run the whole piece over and then it's just your strap. I prefer to have the adjustability of a slider. So I have to tell you how to get these straps on. So number one, you're going to leave a 1-inch overhang because that's what you're going to use to stitch down your pieces. There's a few different ways to do this. So let me get some straps. So we do sell strap kits in the shop. Oh, Diane, I'm sorry that you're not able to see me live. I mean, I've been talking like crazy. So we do sell bra strapping kits. Our bra strapping kits include 2 yards of bra strapping, and this is satin on the one side and plush back on the other, just like you're going to find in any other bra strap. What I carry right now is 3/4 inch. With the bra kits that I'm planning for the Oraro, we'll also be carrying 1/2 inch. So why do I send you so much strapping? Because let's be real, from here to here, it leaves you that much extra, right? Well, number one, I know that people like to do fun things with their bra straps. And number two, not everybody is as short as I am, which means that the length going around isn't as short. But I like to make sure that you have options and that in the case of a mistake, you still have some to cut and work with. So that's the first thing to know, is that our bra strap kits include 2 yards. That's a lot of bra strapping. Some patterns will call for 20 inches for each strap. Well, that's going to, be about 40 inches, and that's more than a yard, but less than 2 yards. I'd rather you have extra. Also in the kit, you get 2 appropriately sized rings and 2 sliders. Now, this is the part where people start to get scared, because usually when they tell you you need to put a ring on your strap, and I'm going to use this little piece right here, they tell you to run it through and then, hold on, run it through. Come on, little strap. There we go. So you're supposed to run it through and then snake it back through again so that you can tack it down. And let me tell you, that is like the worst way to do this, and it's super frustrating, and it's going to drive you crazy. So I'm going to tell you a secret. You can put this on your strap as long as you do it before you do any of the other steps that they're asking for you to do on your bra strap. Now, I know I'm using black strapping and a white slider, but you can do it obviously with the same color. I just feel like it's going to be easier to see. So, ready to figure out how to put these sliders on. This is going to be so easy, and then you're going to be like, wow, I don't know what I was afraid of. You have your slider, you have your strapping. Your plush sides are going together, so you're going to thread it through again. Your plush sides are together, and you're going to stitch this down. Okay, so that part, super easy, right? Now you decide where this end is going. So if this end is going to go through a ring, here's your ring. Put the ring on and you thread it back through. Now, obviously, your slider would be stitched down, so you wouldn't have to hold all these pieces so tight. But boom, that's it. So now you can stitch this ring onto wherever it needs to go. Alternatively, if you are making a nursing bra, you'll need this little clip right here. And rather than threading it through the ring, you're going to thread it through this nursing clip. Okay, that's it. And then you're ready to attach it to wherever else it's going. So definitely, if you have a bra, take a look at it. But I promise you, if you sew this part first, some instructions like tell you to like wrap it all around, and it just drives me crazy. Like, there's no reason to do it that way. It's way harder. If you just put it on the slider first and then deal with all your other parts, you shouldn't run into any problems. Okay, so where are we at? So on this particular one, I've got a ring, a slider, and a nursing clip. I hope Diane's able to see us, hopefully when she was able to reload. So if you don't need a nursing clip, you can do this with just one ring. So you would make sure that your slider goes on the ring instead of the nursing clip, and then you're just going to stitch the other side down, and that's super easy. Let me, this one. So as you can see here, this back is stitched down, slider, ring, back up to the slider. Easy peasy. All right, so like I said, this is the most basic version. There's no lining, nothing special. Joe Cole Shoreline Knit Tank. Now, Love Notions also has a very similar pattern called the Luna. I don't know if they use the same front and back because I don't own that pattern, but it's the same process. Now, we have to deal with this bottom part, and that's the other part I wanted to talk to you about. So let me find the pieces I have. So if you follow our shop, you know that we just added 3/4 inch plush elastic. So previously we had the 3/4 picot trim plush, which has these cute little picots on the top. The 3/4 inch plush has no picots, but it is otherwise more or less the exact same product. Okay, so why would you want to use the regular plush instead of the picot trim? I don't know about you, but no bra, no sports bra that I've ever had pretty picots on the bottom. So that might be one reason. Number two, this stuff is way cheaper than the picot one, so that's another option. But it's very easy to apply. You make sure that the plush side goes against your skin. So when you're putting together the bra and you're putting your elastic on, whether you're using the picot trim or the regular trim, the plush side goes towards you. The regular side goes against the right side of the fabric, and then it gets turned. Okay, easy peasy. All right, so I'm sure you all are aware, Patterns for Pirates has the Cross Your Heart cami, and it's not really meant to be a bralette, but you can take all the ideas from it and just copy it right over here. So if you wanted to do that, one option is, and this is the same Joe Cole pattern, is to add a little V-neck. All the other parts are the same. And if you don't want to deal with, where did I put it? Fold over elastic, you absolutely can bind all of these edges. Now this will absolutely save you money since you just need to use whatever your main fabric is. However, I find it's not as stable. So you have options. You can put elastic into all these seams, which I'm sure would be a horrible pain. Or just provide a little bit of tension when you're sewing this on, so don't sew it on one-to-one. Instead, just provide a little bit of tension so that it holds a little bit tighter. But all I did, here's my giant pattern piece. I figured out approximately where I wanted the V part to be and drew myself a straight line. So that's like the easiest hack ever. I hate when people say, oh, well, I want this one feature of a pattern and it's just a neckline change. Like anybody can add this straight line. All right, so I like the back of the hyacinth. Looks like this. But I like the front of my joke. So what I did was I mashed them together. Oh, this is the joke piece, sorry. This is the hyacinth piece. This was my redrafted joke. So I actually finished this like 30 seconds before I started filming today. Julie, which one are you asking the fabric about? This coral one? Is that the one you were asking about? This is cotton lycra. It's our coral cotton lycra. And I believe the lace color is called Passion. And it's just a stretch lace in our shop. I will mention that the stretch lace in our shop stretches more vertically than horizontally. So you may want to turn it so that you have the most stretch going around your body. That can be really important when you're sewing a bralette. And you can see I did not use picot trim. I used the regular trim for my lower band. Mostly because it was what I had available. You can absolutely use picot trim on the bottom. I just feel like this is a little bit easier for me. So, reasons why I like the back of the hyacinth is that you can insert the straps straight into the back, and it actually attaches here at the band line. That gives it more stability, and it also means that you don't need as many rings and sliders. But the even better part is that now that I've done that, I know what adjustments to make, and I can grab the hyacinth add-on pack and get all those pretty different backs without having to worry about all the other parts. Taroni is mentioning the Madeline patterns. Madeline does have some really great free patterns. The problem is that she drafts for an A or B cup, and there's no way I can adjust it enough to give me enough support. So if you're a smaller cup size, definitely go check out her patterns because she's got some really cool stuff. But it just doesn't work for me. Gabs is asking about support. So this pattern I actually lined with cotton lycra. It's 2 layers of cotton lycra. It's not going to be a ton of support, but it is very, very comfortable. As far as fabrics from our shop that will work well, we've got our black Under Armour, which is, if anybody who's like touched it understands, it's supportive without being constrictive. Diane, you're asking about who has the A and B patterns. That would be Madeline. Tronia, if you are not mobile, can you go and get the link for that? So, and if Tronia can't do that, I can grab it, but I can't find links and talk. I'm not that capable of doing multitasking. So, how do you avoid uniboob in a bralette? Because that's what Malika's asking me about, which is, it's Malika Designs, but I know it's Melissa. So let me go back because we're still talking about stable fabrics. Swim fabrics are a good choice. They're definitely more stable than your standard cotton lycra. What else might I use? I've actually found that a layer of lace adds more support than I thought it would. So it's actually more supportive than 2 layers of cotton lycra because the lace doesn't stretch as much. So that's one of those, you have to play with what you have. A heavier weight cotton lycra is going to be more supportive. Outside of that, now you're dealing with power mesh and power net, which I can never remember the difference between the two, so I'm sorry. But those you're going to find more at like a specialty shop. I know Joann's has a line of power mesh, but I'm not sure how effective they are. But when I want a little bit more support, I do line with the second layer of cotton lycra. I find it's enough to be comfortable without being restrictive. So let's get to Melissa's question. How do you avoid uniboob? And you know, there's no other seams in here, so that's kind of what happens. What are your options? You can, and hold on, I need to move around a little bit here. You can add a line of shirring to the center front. That tends to have just a little bit of shaping added, and it puts a little bit of tension on the fabric, which can separate that line. Now, my bra actually has that, but I'm just so big that it's still just uniboob. The Lucky Lingerie, because of the twist, hold on. Sorry. Because of the twist in the front, it tends to avoid uniboob, so that can be really helpful because it's adding some tension into that center space. Uniboob was not as bad with the Oraro. It has the center seam, and I think because of that, it actually, there's almost like an angle to it that pulls a little bit of tension so that you don't end up with just one boob. To some degree, though, depending on how large you are, there's kind of no avoiding it. I'm very large, and I don't have a finger space between my breasts, so I'm just kind of stuck with it. Without an underwire, there is no separating my boobs. I'm always just one giant boob. So, all right, so I think I covered. No worries, Taronia. Like I said, if you were mobile, I can get the link later, but I can't talk and search. And like I said, I already know I'm going way over time today, but I think it's important that, you know, everything that's in my head gets out to everybody who's thinking about making bralettes. So I want to get back to the Rad Patterns Oraro because it uses a lot less special pieces. Okay, so number one, it is fully lined, and that means you don't have to deal with fold over elastic. You're not dealing with, pardon me, any of the picot lace trims. It's just basically the only specialty parts you need are your straps and your lower band. Now, like I said, I did put in a cotton lycra band, so this is not true to the pattern. The pattern recommends a 2-inch plush elastic, which we have ordered, but I don't have it yet, so I can't make it with that. So, bra straps on this. We do have kits. They are on pre-order. They are in white and black. I am not going to carry 500 colors of bra strapping because this is nylon strapping, and you can absolutely acid dye it along with the rings and the sliders. I believe I shared a link in the group that talks about acid dyeing your rings and sliders. And the trick is to put them in first, then add all of your elastics, and then take your elastics out when they're the color you want them, and leave the rings and sliders in a little bit longer. Okay, so the cool thing about this pattern is it just has this single ring in the back and your bra straps. And it's actually really fast. I think I made this one in about 40 minutes. It would have been faster, but it has princess seams and it's fully lined. So you basically make the bra twice and then turn it and then put your straps on. So that part is super cool. Taroni is asking about nursing clips. I do have nursing clips in black and white. They are 5/8 inch wide. Technically, that is not the right size for my 3/4 strapping, but I use it anyway, and I don't have any problems with the 3/4 being too big. You can see that here. It fits well. It still moves. It's not compressed. So that is the size that I sell, and they work for me. If I run out, I'm happy to order more. But this is super easy. Oh, Caroline, it is not going to take you 3 days to sew this bra. Like, I guarantee. I mean, you just sewed a swimsuit, right? This is like 500 million times easier than a swimsuit. Let's see. So I feel like I've been like talking non-stop. All right. Okay. Shop updates, and then I will cycle through, make sure I got everybody's questions. So there will be no $5 Fabric Friday tomorrow, because if you go to the Tie Dye Diva blog page, you will see that she is doing a blog tour for her mermaid skirt, and there's a coupon code in there for 20% off. So I am not doing $5 Fabric Friday, but you may want to go look at the Tie Dye Diva blog, because that's where the coupon code is, and it'll get you 20% off everything in the shop. And 20% off of our usual rayon spandex is less than the $5 that I usually offer. I will answer your question in a second, Melissa. Number 2, if you are not signed up for the Simply by T newsletter, you need to sign up, because I'm going to be drawing late tonight a winner for either a $20 shop credit or a mystery box. And that means that if you're not signed up for the newsletter, you can't win. And everybody wants to win, right? The pre-order on the straps for the rad pattern, I placed the order today. It should be here probably on Monday or Tuesday, so probably sooner than the Wednesday that's listed in the pre-order. Those are discounted for pre-order pricing, but it'll get you all the stuff you need to make the Oraro, except for fabric, which of course you can order from us if you want. So Melissa wants to know when I am actually going to slow down for this baby. The reality is I will be 32 weeks on Saturday, and it's a little scary to think about, but that means baby could be here in as short as 5 weeks. Normally, you know, in the past, my others were born at 38, 41, and 40 weeks. So eventually I will have a baby. In the meantime, I'm not quite ready to slow down with the shop yet. You know, I did say that the last pre-order was the last pre-order, and then I found out about this rad bralette, and I was like, nope, that can't be the last pre-order. We do have 2 custom prints coming. Those should be here probably Wednesday, Thursday next week, and that includes the camo print, the blue ombre, black stretch chambray. There's more stretch denim in there, and I'm topping off our baby French terry, so we won't run out. I'm hoping and really thinking that this is it, that I'm slowing down. And I keep saying, okay, I'm not going to do anything else, and then I do more stuff. Thank you, Taronia. I tried to tone down my makeup today since I am totally in my pajamas. But yes, baby is due July 22nd, but anybody who's had a baby knows babies come when they're ready, and you cannot rush them, as much as I know that as we get closer, I will be done. So with that, sewing Thursdays are every other Thursday, so I won't be here next week, but the following week I will. Caroline, you didn't know about the custom prints. Okay, so we've got the blue ombre, which is just being restocked, and then there's a blue double brushed poly camo, which, even though it's almost summer, and I know it's hard for people to think about double brushed poly in the summer, I really wanted this print in time to make cute baby things so that he would have cute blue camo when it gets cold here, which is like September. So we don't have much summer. It's warm today. It could be snowing tomorrow, and by mid-September we'll have gotten snowed on at least once. But yes, I'm restocking baby French terry. So if you're noticing that there's fabrics that are saying cannot be back ordered. I just want to make sure that we don't run out. Let's see. Taroni is talking about French terry for the LLC is, well, I can't remember. Some kind of Cali racerback separate. So I don't know if you're looking for the baby French terry or the regular French terry, but keep in mind that 20% off coupon is going to work on everything. So that gives you lots and lots of options of whatever you need. You know, Taroni, you're laughing that it could snow tomorrow, but it really could. I think it's supposed to be in the 40s tonight, even though it was like almost 80 today. Our weather's crazy. That's the thing about living at a really high elevation. Little Lux. Oh, I didn't realize that they had, is this a new pattern? Like, have I missed something? I've been like trying to keep on top of everything, but I'm going to have to go check out what Little Lux has now because those little separates. Oh, sweatsuit thing. Do you think it's like gender neutral? Because then that can totally justify me buying it. But anyway, we stay focused. So who else has questions? I think that's all the shop news that I needed to include. Like I said, sign up for the newsletter. No $5 Fabric Friday. Coupon code for the 20% off is good through Memorial Day. So if you need to spend the weekend stocking up, feel free. I don't think we're going to do mystery boxes this Monday only because we're going to have the sale, and I can only cut so much fabric, then I feel like my legs are going to fall off. So no mystery boxes this Monday, and yeah. Wow. So does anybody have any questions? I know I covered so many patterns for these bralettes. And honestly, there's a lot. And I didn't even talk to you about the patterns that I have that use bra backs. I only talked about the ones that just have elastic bands on the bottom, which is still a ton of patterns. And I feel a little bit embarrassed that I have so many. But like I said, if you're only going to get or pay for one, I really like the Joe Cole Shoreline because it's simple. I don't have the Love Notions Luna, so I can't say whether it's the same basic design. It probably is, and the advantage of the Luna is that you would also get the shorts and lounge pants, which could be an advantage. If you're okay with doing some modifications and messing with sizes, the Olulu Hyacinth is free. Taroni is asking if the stretch lace works for bralette. So are you talking about our galloon lace or our regular stretch lace? Because this is our regular stretch lace. And I've used it here. I used it here on the Made for Mermaids one. And on this other one too. So this is our regular stretch lace. But I've also used the galloon lace as just a neckline accent. So you can absolutely do this. The reason why I couldn't do a full galloon lace bralette is because the distance from here to here on this one isn't so bad. It's probably not. It's like just barely 8 inches. So I'd have to like cut off the other side, and it can be a little wonky, but otherwise it does work. So if you're a smaller cup size, that totally works. Let me get that link for you for Tie Dye Diva blog. And like I said, there's a 20% off coupon in there, and I will actually be blogging as part of that tour tomorrow. I did really love their Mermaid Maxi, but I wanted to focus today on the bralettes. Oops. Nope. All right, here we go. Coupon code. It's in there. Okay, so Taroni, you're asking do you have the regular mint stretch lace or the two-tone? Because there are two different fabrics. I definitely would not use the stretch lace on its own. If you're more than a B or C sewing cup, it just can't support anything. I mean, it would be cute, but you have to be careful you're not going to like stick a finger through the lace and rip it. The two-tone is a little more plushy. I don't have any close by that I can like kind of compare. I think it would still work though. Just make sure that you stretch it and see whether the length is stretchier than the width, because you want the greatest stretch going around your body. That little bit of height difference may end up with more cleavage showing, so you could also cut the neckline a little higher and trim it down if you need to. And like Caroline's saying, it really depends on how much support do you need. Like, what are you expecting it to do? I have to be honest, I haven't worn a real bra since December because I can't. I've gone up 5 inches, and it's just impractical to keep buying bras knowing that I'm just going to keep getting bigger. I just can't. My brain cannot handle it. But as long as you have your nursing clips, you're not going to have to worry about the lace stretching out or having a problem. You'll still be able to move the cups up and down as you need to. It's not restrictive. Caroline, you're telling me you're tired thinking about all the stuff that I do, but you're also not seeing all the things that I'm not doing. I mean, look at my space back here, and that's what I cleaned up for you guys today. I mean, my sewing table's a hot mess, even though I just cleaned it. So, I mean, yes, I do a lot of sewing work. Yes, I do a lot of shop work, but I'm not doing a lot of dishes or laundry or cooking or cleaning or vacuuming or all the other things that my house really needs. So on my list of projects this week is to finish up my Rad Patterns tester, because even though this one looks great, the pattern's been updated, so I need to do a quick one, but it's going to take me less than an hour. So if you are looking to make, yes, Taronia, and I homeschool, but, my kids are kind of awesome and really easy. So, maybe that's hard for other people, but I like being with my kids, and my kids are kind of awesome. So the Rad Patterns Ororo takes me about 45 minutes to an hour to complete. But these Joe Cole ones, I'm talking like 35 minutes maybe. So if you need like a whole stack, the Joe Cole version is super fast, and you can start doing little mods and make them more interesting. Well, Caroline, I mean, not everybody can do everything, but you're talking about your life is a million times worse, but you like went to school and like you do like job stuff. I am at least like working from home. So, mom work is hard, and not mom work is also hard. And I think we're all just really tired, and we could all use a maid to come like catch up on all the things. But yes, I want to thank everybody for joining me today, and I hope you didn't mind that we completely went off on tangent and talked about how like parenting is hard and sewing is hard. And thank God for sewing, because we have a happy place. But yes, Gabs, I am so tired. So to do my photos yesterday, I don't really wear foundation, but I had to bust out the concealer and the foundation to just try to get rid of all these bags, because, oh my God, like this baby never sleeps. So I don't sleep. He likes to dance all night long. And so you can't really sleep when baby's kicking you in the bladder. It's a little hard. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining me. It has been super fun. I know I covered so much stuff. So if there's questions, you can feel free to message the SimplybyTi page. I try to get to those as quickly as possible. Facebook is not very good at giving me notifications, but I check a couple times a day. You can certainly join us in my fabric group. I answer questions both related to fabric and just sewing related questions. I love answering sewing related questions. It's kind of my happy place. Or you can message me privately, Becca Yao. I'm on Facebook. My page is completely open to everybody. But yes, thank you for joining me, and I hope to hear from you soon.